So Leigh, do you want to just sort of explain to us a little bit, how long ago were you diagnosed with breast cancer?
I was diagnosed in 2012.
Yep.
With a cancer that couldn't be detected, which was the most difficult part, because by the time I found the lump,
right,
it had its way.
So that was your first sign, was actually a lump there?
No, I had sensations in my breast and I went for a mammogram, but the mammogram didn't show anything.
Right.
But I still wasn't happy because I knew something wasn't right. So after a couple of months, 2 or 3 months passed, the sensations ended up becoming more pronounced and not necessarily painful, but uncomfortable. And that was when I thought, well, I need to get my hands checked out because I was feeling a bit arthritic and I should get that checked out at the same time. So I went to a GP who specialises in chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, because I'd already had years of issues with that.
Right.
So I went back to him and sadly he didn't feel the need to check my breast. He said I wasn't breathing properly and the discomfort was probably associated to lack of oxygen. So I understand that because I'm a yoga teacher and therapist and I understand how that works, but I was confused as to how that could be because I'm quite well aware of breathing.
So being a bit persistent is quite important, isn't it?
Very important.
Yeah.
So 2 or 3 days passed and I was like a dog with a bone and I thought I've got to see if I can feel anything. And so that was really what happened, and I didn't feel it by the way they tell you, which is this motion. It was actually that, squeezing the breast that way.
Right.
And I don't know why I did it, but it was just must have been an intuitive reaction, and yeah, I felt it. And of course it gave me a huge fright and went straight back to the GP, who then decided yes, it was an emergency, and I was in Breast Associates the next day. And so they did a very painful biopsy. That was probably the most painful part of everything I've been through, which sounds bizarre because I've subsequently had major surgery, but it was hideous. Really, I wasn't well equipped, or I felt cared for in that respect. But anyway, got through that and the results came back. Yes, I had a strain of cancer that they couldn't tell what it was going to be, but that they recommended I have a partial mastectomy and radiotherapy. So I thought, oh well, I can handle radiotherapy, it's okay, everything's fine, and off I went and had the cancer removed. And then of course we went back a week later for the results, and that was when I fell off my perch a bit, because she then told me that I had to have chemotherapy, that it was a very aggressive form of cancer that they can't detect in the body until it's formed a tumour, and then they still can't tell what it is until it's outside of the body under a microscope. So that sent me into a bit of a whirlwind then. I cried for 24 hours probably. And then I thought, right, you've got to just get on with it now and do what you've got to do. And I sort of held that attitude all the way through, really. I had my moments, but yeah, it's a long story, so I don't want to go into too much right now because I can feel a hot flush going on, which is one of the side effects from having all this chemo.
We could put the air conditioner on.